This isekai has a concept that I have wished for the longest time. I wanted an isekai where the main character can go back and forth from their original world to their isekai world. In the isekai world, they struggle to gain powers and abilities, but in the real world, they attain the skills they got from the isekai world. This is a best of both worlds situation. People who like overpowered characters will be pleased as the characters will be omnipotent in the real world, but others who want to see struggles in characters can get that as well. This isekai right now is the closest to that concept. There is no struggle in the story, which is sad, however, it is still very captivating. In episode 1, typical of an isekai, the main character is a loser who is bullied. He is kind, but the world is not kind to him. People like him are the ones who get taken advantage of. He is fed up with himself for not standing his ground. He wants to stop being a coward and greet his days with a smile rather than fear. On one particular day, he finds a girl being catcalled. Even though he is trembling, he desires a change. Adrenaline rises in his body as he rushes to save the girl. It did not go as planned, but he did take the first steps towards a change. Yuya is out of shape and very creepy. The only affection he got was from his grandfather. His family did not care for him, so when his grandfather passed away, everything went wrong. It was hard to see his mental state. No matter the hard work, nothing works out for him. With no adult support, he has to part-time for sustenance. Miserable indeed, but it was not hopeless yet. His grandfather's house seems to have a portal to another world. This is where the fantasy aspect of the anime begins. Yuya gets some abilities that he uses to fight against the monsters. His grandfather has collected a lot of good pieces of equipment which he can use for free. It is a big cheat as per the title. The monster cannot go inside his home to make matters even more favorable to him. If situations get dicey, he can just run to his house. He got good equipment and shelter, so he is set on survival, and the cherry on top, he looks like this the next day. Finally, everything took the right turn. Our boy now can have a pursuit to his happiness. Now this part is where the story hooked me. If given to a lesser mangaka, this anime would have had a revenge plot that we have seen done to death. However, the mangaka does not take this route. Remember I said that he is kind. Well, that does not change even after he gets these powers. He could get revenge against the bullies, but he chooses not to. All he ever wanted was to change himself. Most revenge stories are skipped by me because of their redundancy. However, by remembering his grandfather's words, he chooses to be humble and kind towards people. Episode 1 was a great introduction to Yuya's personality and his motivations. On to episode 2, where things get even better than before. This girl named Kaori is a person with great power. Kaori is the daughter of the chairman of Osei Academy. The academy is known for its prestige and the guidance it gives to the students. It's told that if you get into this academy, your future is secured. Kaori encourages Yuya to enroll to her school. He meets with the chairman and then opts to have a trial run to test the waters of the academy. He is so dumbfounded by the quality of the school. Not only the classes, but the cafeteria was top class. But what made Yuya love the school were the people in it. The main criteria for getting into the school is the student's personality. A student could be a genius, but if he is a piece of shit, he won't be eligible to enroll in the academy. After a trial run, he opts to choose Osei Academy. At the end of episode 2, he saves what seems to be a princess. There are so many good things to say about this story. I did wish there were more struggles shown to us. It is not a realistic approach, but I love the characters' personalities. I have been reading this manga for about a year. The studio did an excellent job animating this series. Just look at the characters. They are breathtaking. I was impressed by the craftsmanship of the animators. You know the studio had a limited budget just from seeing a few frames, but to make the characters this beautiful is nothing but praiseworthy. I have no problems with the animations, but I have concern about its pacing. There are only two light novel adaptations that have little to no skip content. They are ReZero and Monogatari series. Monogatari uses text from the light novel to fit in the missed content, whereas ReZero dedicates its entire screen time to the story, not caring for the opening and ending songs. These are the two ways to faithfully adapt a novel. Sadly, this is a big ask for studios, especially less known studios. First of all, they have a limited budget, and to add to that, they have to cram as much content as possible to build hype for the franchise. This isekai was no different. I will leave some of the skip content, but first, I want to give a warning because it might be covered in the coming episodes. In episode 2, the pacing is much quicker compared to the light novel. We skip an entire week in the beginning. The anime does not even introduce these two. They are the siblings of Yuya. They were cruel not only to Yuya but also other students. The main reason for his bullying were the siblings. Even the teacher played a part in the bullying. Kaori makes the teacher repent their sins by disciplining and dismissing them. While reaching the school, Yuya was worried that because of him, Kaori missed her classes. Kaori then says she won't be scolded as she informed the school beforehand. We then transition to the meeting with the chairman. Yuya asks why Kaori was alone with no security that day. The no security thing was Kaori's wish. She wanted to have a normal life with as few restraints as possible. She wanted to be independent at a very young age. After the meeting, Yuya joins his classes. Yuya was surprised to see how free the students were. This girl wore a choker to school, which was very unusual for him. Also, the teacher used informal analogies like games and mangas to make the students understand different topics in the syllabus. The light novel also explains a lot more about the first friend Yuya made. In junior high, Ryo used to be in the soccer club. He was always good at sports and got good results wherever in clubs. Learning about Ryo and other students, he feels joy for the first time in a long time. This was the first place where he was treated as an equal. This was the reason why he wanted to enroll in Osei Academy. He wants to be with people who treat him like a human. These were some things that were left out from the anime. There are also other things left out, but I believe they will be covered in the next episode. The skip contents were not that bad, but it's good to know them as it helps to contextualize Yuya. Honestly, I am satisfied with the direction of the anime. Very excited for you all to witness its story. It has one of the best plots from an isekai, and I hope many seasons will be announced. I encourage you all to stick with this isekai, and here I will be ending this video. This will be Dungeon signing out.